Hello, this is another recipe. I'm going to make some mini quiches or cheese and onion tartlets, whatever you call them, or whatever you'd like to call them. And also some jam tarts because it's a very similar method. So for this recipe, you need plain flour, butter, two beaten eggs I've got in here, some cheese, some chopped onion, and I've still got some pepper left from the pizza, so I'm going to put some pepper in. I've still got some sweet corn too, but I don't fancy sweet corn in there. So first of all, I should have said at the start of both of the previous videos, the most important thing about cooking is giving your hands a good wash, especially at this moment, but always in cooking, and that's one of our most important cooking club rules. So get your bowl, and we're going to put 2 heaped tablespoons of plain flour into your bowl, and we're going to put 2 lumps of butter, like that, well, baking block, into your bowl. Sorry, I've where I've touched my hair, but it's only going to be my son eating these, and he's not watching, so it doesn't matter. Right, so we're going to squeeze and tickle again. So coat your butter in the flour in the bowl before you start, because lots of children just like squeezing the butter and they end up with a very greasy mess on their hands. So the butter's all nicely coated in flour, and we're going to squeeze and tickle like we've done in previous recipes. You will notice a common theme in my cooking. There's a lot of squeezing and tickling that goes on. But as I've said before, it's very, very good for strengthening little finger muscles in readiness for writing, as well as being a nice sensory experience as well. You find that some children don't like the feel of the butter and the flour together, but just chop the butter up a bit smaller for them and make sure it's well coated, and they should get better. So I'm going to keep doing this until all of my lumps have gone. Again, nearly there. Really doesn't take long at all, especially in such small quantities. It keeps the attention level up as well if it doesn't take too long. So we're going to keep squeezing and tickling. Give it a shake. There's still a couple of lumps. Just get rid of those. That's it. So I am going to make my pastry now by using my spoon and some water. So gradually adding water a bit at a time. As I've mentioned, it doesn't matter if you put too much water in. Just add a bit more flour until it comes together. So a bit more water. I've actually got another lump of pastry ready to go here because I thought I started videoing and I got nearly to the end, and then I realised that I'd just taken a photo of myself and hadn't pressed video. So I've already done this once, but it doesn't matter because I can show you how to make the jam tarts with what's left. So once it all comes together, put your hands in and squish it all around the bowl. Just move that out of the way. I'm just going to put a bit more flour onto my baking board. I tend to just coat the dough just by sort of rolling it around in the flour, which makes it a bit easier to roll out. And then I just put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin, and then I'm going to just roll it, and I roll it and then turn it so that it doesn't stick to the board, because there's nothing worse than sticky pastry that you've cut out ready and it's all stuck on the board, not wanting to come off. So give that a roll out. That's it. That's probably about the right thickness. Can you see? About that thick. Doesn't need to be too thick because it makes it really stodgy. Well, just really too pastry-ish. And if it's too thin, then the filling might leak out. So we don't really want that. So I'm going to get my pastry cutter and then just start cutting out circles from my dough. Oh, I've made 4 from this one. So then you take the spare pastry Can you see? Let's just move that down a fraction. Take the spare pastry and we can roll that out again and cut some more out. So I should be able to get 6, I should imagine, from the quantity that I've got here. Just squish it all together again into a ball. I'd love to see any pictures if anybody's been cooking at all during this lockdown, what creations you've made. I'm always on the lookout for new recipes. I've got a few sort of tried and tested recipes that I always do because they're nice and easy for children, and they're nice and easy for the adults as well, even if you're not much of a baker yourself. Right, so that's about the same thickness as the previous pastry. So I'll cut it there. Or I might even make 7 out of this. So another 2. Just put them to the side for a minute. And with the last little bit, enough for one more. It's quite nice to make little things like this and have a picnic in the garden. And even if you've got a fussy eater, they're more likely to try it if they've been involved themselves in the cooking of it. Yeah, so that's going to be 7. So I've got my 7 little circles of dough. Get my bun tin, and I'm just going to just push them in. A good tip actually, so that you don't put your finger through it, is get a spare bit of dough and push it down with the dough like this. And then it shouldn't tear the pastry. Mine are going to look quite rustic, but I'm sure yours will look a lot neater. So I'll just put a few more on there. Use my dough to push them all down. They need quite a good lip to them so that all your filling doesn't leak out, because we're going to put some egg and things inside, and don't want a mess all over your cooker. Okay, so now we've got our little cases like this. So I'm going to take my beaten egg and I'm going to pour about half full to start with in each case. I've probably gone a bit mad with the first couple, but oh no, I'm just going to have enough. That's it. So you've got your eggy mix in there. You could put a pinch of mixed herbs or something in as well if you like that. Then I've got my onion, so I'm going to put a few little bits of onion in each one. Oh, it smells quite strong actually. Get my onion in. I mean, all of these recipes you can adapt if there's food allergies. You can use gluten-free flour. That always works quite well. Just make sure it's either the plain or the self-raising. I'm not quite sure what you'd use for the filling for the eggs. I think there's probably alternatives, so you could always do that. Put a couple of peppers in just to use them up. I won't put peppers in all of them. My son's not keen on peppers, and he'll only moan if there's bits in there. We've got peppers, so I've done 4 with peppers and 3 without. And then just get your cheese and just put your cheese, a little pinch of cheese, about that much, just on top of them all. Go in. And that's your mini quiches, and they go in about 180 degrees for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. You'll see when they're cooked, because they set a nice skin on the top. Oh, that one's all leaking, never mind. So that's your mini quiches. I'll put a picture of these up as well when I post the video along with the recipe. So I'm just going to move those out of the way. And as I said, because I messed up the last video, I've got a lump of dough that I've made earlier. So I'm going to now make some jam tarts. So it's exactly the same way for the pastry. 2 serving spoons of plain flour, 2 lumps of butter, squeeze and tiggle until all the lumps have gone, and then gradually add some water so that it's made into a nice pastry dough. And then roll it out. Keep turning it again so it doesn't stick. That's about the same thickness as the mini quiches. You need these. I always try and, when I'm cooking with children sort of regularly, I always try and do a savoury dish alternated with a sweet dish, because otherwise I just sort of think that every time you bake it's always sweet, so it's quite nice to have something savoury as well. Right, so that's rolled out, about the same thickness again. And I'm just using my cutter again. I'm just going to make 4 of these, I think, because there's not going to be space. Well, I'll have room for 5 actually, so let's cut those out. And then we'll use a spare bit of dough again, a spare bit of pastry to make 1 more. Oh, what, do you know what? I've got my jam, thinking it was my jam for my jam tarts, and I've just realised I've got a pot of marmalade out the cupboard, so I'm just gonna have to grab a thing of jam. Right, so it's the last one. Make sure it's the same thickness as the others so that they all cook evenly. So 1 more circle, and again, just the same way. My eggs leaked everywhere here. I haven't made a very good job of this at all. So I'm going to put those in there. Again, just use a spare bit of dough to push them down. My husband will like these. Jam tarts are his favourite, so he'll have a nice treat later on. So I'll push that down. So I'm just going to go and grab another jar of jam. Oh, I'm so glad I don't do this this professionally. I'd be sacked. I'll be back. Right, strawberry jam. You can use any flavour jam you want. You can use, I can't open it now. You can use a mix of different jams. Let me just grab a cloth. Oh, sorry, I've got sticky hands. Oh, that's it, opened. So, strawberry jam. It's quite nice with lemon curd as well. I do like a lemon tart. That's very nice. So we're going to stick some jam into each case. And again, these will probably take about 10-15 minutes. I'm useless in the kitchen. I never time anything. I just look and see if it's ready. So put this there. You don't want it too over full because it'll just burn onto the tray and then it takes forever to get off. So that is my mini quiches and jam tart. So I'm just going to put them in the oven and I will post a picture later. I hope you enjoy making them. Bye.